There's a conversation going on in the epiclifeleague.com Facebook group, and I wanted to kind of talk about it. It looks like most people are already in the Facebook group, so thanks. We can read it well. Yes, Heather. So those of you who are new, this whole discussion, this idea of living an epic life, we discuss it all in the epiclifeleague.com, the Facebook group there. But right now there was a conversation going on. A member named Ryan was talking about he still wasn't really clear on what epic meant. Okay, so, and he was talking about how he was very grateful for the life he has right now, and he said he's very content with the life he has. So it helped me. I was asking him, how can I define it better, right? How can I define epic better? And as I was thinking about it, I went and looked at definitions, and I like to do that. I want to be on the same page with everybody about what we talk about. Hey, what's up? I'm Jeremy, but so again, I'm Jeremy Franson from epiclifeleague.com, but welcome. And again, if it's your first time, normally we talk about amazing books and thoughts and mindsets and everything we can do to build an epic life. But today we're kind of going over discussing what epic is. Yeah, no problem. I figured. So one of the things, first I'll start with the definition, I guess, of epic, so that it's really, really clear. And in the description of the Facebook group, I'm going to add this description, because this is what I actually mean when I'm talking about epic. And so epic is, the definition is heroic, majestic, and impressively great. Right? Okay, so those are very big, very specific words, okay? Now, for newbies, this guy's awesome. Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. So, heroic, majestic, and impressively great. Now, here's the thing. I think that you get to define this for yourself, for one, okay? Yes, it's to oneself. I can't tell you, like, I have no place telling you what impressively great is. But you know, and if you don't know, it's time to start defining what epic is. What is heroic to you? What is majestic? Like, these are big, grand, awesome, great words. Like, that's the type of life I want to live. Impressively great. Yeah, you need reverb when you say those words and thunderclaps. Yes, majestic, right? Yeah, so, like that very much defines it very different than an average life or a normal life or something like that. Just a life like everyone else. Like, I want a majestic life. I want it to be impressively great to me. Right? Again, we can't define this for each other, these very specifics of that. But I know that there are some words that are not a part of what epic is. It's not majestic. Now, so one of the things I was talking with Ryan in the Facebook group about is he talked about being content. And he wasn't sure, really he's not sure if the Epic Life Quest group, this epiclifeleague.com group, really if it's right for him, if it's the right place. And it's not right for everybody. Right? Like, and it's not a value judgment if it's not the right place for you, or if you're like, Epic Life just seems pretty corny or hokey or whatever. That's fine. Don't join. Don't watch. Right? But that is what I'm going for. Heroic, majestic, impressively great. That is what I'm defining for myself, and hoping to help as you come with this on this journey with me, that we define this for ourselves so we know what we're going for. And if it doesn't speak to us, we go look at the average life or normal life or content life group, right? So here's the thing. So he used the word content. So I looked up the word content, and here's what the meaning is. I figured this is, I thought I had the right meaning, but here's what it means. Satisfied with what one has or is, not wanting more or anything else. Okay, so that is definitely not a part of epic, and here's why. And I'll explain it. It's not a value judgment, just definition-wise. If you're striving and you have a growth mindset, you want growth, then satisfaction can't happen. Okay, so this is really, really important. If you're happy with exactly who you are, where you are, and everything is exactly perfect fine now, then striving for an epic life is definitely not for you, because the moment you want more, whether that's more knowledge, you want to be able to do more with your life, you want mastery in something, you want to gain more knowledge, even just reading is not being content just by the act of it, because contentment is satisfaction with what things are right now. Okay, so I just wanted to help that satisfaction and contentment is not possible if your quest is an epic life. And that, if you want contentment and satisfaction, that's completely fine. Who am I to say you shouldn't have contentment and satisfaction? But that's not what the epic life quest thing is about. But here's the thing: being able to still have that feeling of wow, here's where I'm at. I like where I'm at. Or at least, at the very least, I'm grateful for where I'm at. So what I explained to him in the Facebook group is, I am very grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for the knowledge that I have. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the friends and people I have around. But that doesn't stop my growth mindset. My growth mindset is, I want to be living an epic life. Epic life is not a destination. We don't someday go, epic life, I'm here, I'm done, I'm finished. Epic life is a journey, it's a quest. It's the actions we take every day. So, just to make it really, really clear that, there will be at no point I'm satisfied, because that means I have to be done. So I will die. I will literally die striving for an epic life. And that's just me. That's how it works for me. So again, I just wanted to be more clear with that and get really specific. And like, we can talk about this as kind of semantics or something like that. But yeah, that's what words are. We want to get very, very specific about what things mean. So contentment to me is something I've never strived for, because I want to know. Like, I've been reading all morning. Right? Like, the fact that I'm reading shows I'm not content, because I'm not satisfied with my knowledge. Right? Like, so, and I'm not satisfied with my relationships. We are genetically programmed to grow and evolve. Settling for content is self-destruction. Now, so I agree with that. And let me tell you two stories really quickly based on that. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And thanks for all the hearts, guys. I started studying in my 20s. I was studying all different major religions. And one of them I got a little bit more into was Buddhism. And so I met a Buddhist guy that kind of taught meditation, and he knew a lot about the Buddhism stuff, and you'd actually pay him, which was funny, to learn the meditation and stuff like that. But one of the big keys with that was, they said that one of the keys to enlightenment was getting rid of desire. And so I sat there and I was like going, and I did a little meditation. Okay, let go of my desires, let go of my desires. And I was like going, and then while I was meditating on letting go of my desires, I went, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? I desire not to desire. What? And so I'm like, wait a minute, this is a complete contradiction, right? Like, we have to be so specific. So I was like, hey, wait a minute, so you want me to desire not desiring? Like, how do you not do it without doing it? Like, it makes no sense to me. And to me, this was kind of part of the whole satisfaction thing. With Epic Life, it is about the challenge. It is about living life in a very, very specific way, right? Like we want to strive and grow, like we've talked about. It's growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And to me, based on how I'm looking at the definition of content and satisfied, that is the opposite to me. All right, so like, and that's why I realized, okay, so epic life is not a destination. It is a mindset. It is the way we live our lives. It is the desire for majestic, having a majestic life, an impressively great, heroic life. We are the heroes of our own movie, right? Like we are like, and that's what I mentioned in my definition in the Facebook group, which is at epiclifeleague.com if you're new. And that is that, like epic is a matter of us trying to design our life in a way that either A, that 19-year-old self would look at this movie of our life and go, man, I cannot wait to live that life. That is amazing. Or we could go the opposite way and go, okay, I'm sitting in my rocking chair, right? Just joined yesterday. Great, Rebecca, I saw that. Thanks for being here. Hey, James. So then we're in our rocking chair and we look back at our life. So there's the two ways of looking at how we're trying to live and design our lives is I'm sitting in the rocking chair, I'm just about to die, and 20 minutes before I'm about to die, let's say I die peacefully in my rocking chair thinking back about my life, and I was still reading a book. I was still gaining knowledge. I was still striving. I was still being epic, right? Like for me, that continuous growth and knowledge and just enjoying and sucking the marrow out of life, right? Like from the Dead Poets Society. Like I want to be doing that the moment before it all ends for me, if it all ends. I don't know. We'll talk about transhumanism sometimes too. Hey, Carolina. So there you go. I just, I got really kind of ranted up based on what Ryan was saying in the Facebook group. So I thought I would just do this to help clarify a little bit more for myself, for you guys. 10x the evolution. Yes, be epic. When I say choose epic, like in the Facebook group, it says choose epic. That is the main title. That is basically all about growth. Choosing majestic, choosing impressively great. Again, like choosing to have a heroic life rather than an ordinary, a regular, I guess everything's fine. People that want to do that, that's completely their choice. But that is not what we're about. That's not what I'm going to be talking about. Everything I'm talking about is about being heroic, majestic, impressively great. So there you go. Any other questions? I don't know. Many of you maybe haven't even seen his Ryan's post in the Facebook group yet, but again, like it got me all fired up. I wanted to be very, very clear because I thought the description of the group was clear, but now I realize I gotta add the definition of epic. Experience life like watching someone's life on TV. Yeah, kind of like you want to make it so your life would at the very least be completely exciting for you to watch. Right? Like, and I'll tell you, and I was going to tell you, Vice, I was going to tell you another story really quick. Yeah, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty Style. Yeah, right. Like he was going out trying to, make a life that was at least interesting to him, right? Although, yeah, that's a different story. So a couple of months ago, I was actually looking for a new house, and I realized that part of what I was doing was I was trying to look for a lot of acres, and I wanted to be able to, if I ever needed to, be completely self-sufficient, right? Like live off the land. Let's say the gentleman farm, exactly. Enough food and whatever to be able to live, get the old solar panels, get the love the hero in your own movie. Yes, you are the hero. That is absolutely what the epic life thing is. And one of the things really quickly I said to Ryan is, if you've got that, if you are that, that is awesome. There you go. Then I kind of misunderstood some of it then. That's completely fine. But anyway, I was putting together I was trying to put together this whole gentleman's farm thing, and I realized really what it was I was trying to, as much as possible, take out the challenge or take out the competition that comes from being an entrepreneur. Like I wanted to make it so that, well, if let's say the internet dies, or I just get tired of, constantly having the competition of capitalism, which I actually love. I love the idea of voluntary value exchange, but I was like trying to actually get away from the competition side of it, right? And I realized that, I was listening to actually one of the guys that I posted in the Facebook group that talks about the introduction to philosophy. I was listening to him, and he was talking about challenges is what makes us want to be alive. Like the competing, you can think of it as competing with yourself from yesterday. Like yesterday, as a matter of fact, we talked about being able to go to bed wiser than you were the day before. Like you got some gain from the day. Right? That can be the challenge. That can be the competition. And I actually kind of decided not to do, buy that house and buy the land that I was looking at and all of that, because I realized it was this that I wanted to be doing, not specifically making a gentleman's farm so that I can not have challenge. That's crazy. And that's also, now that we're talking, right now about the contentment and satisfaction, I realized that's what I was trying to do. I just wanted to go, okay, I just have to do these 5 things. That's it. Just got to make enough food to eat and, somehow make enough money to pay for the place. I was going to try and, pay as much of it off as I could, write off. But really it was to try and have contentment, to be honest. Just to be satisfied. This is what it is. This is the rest of my life. And when it suddenly struck me that was the case, I was like, what am I thinking? What the hell am I thinking? I want epic. That's who I am. I have to do that. It would be crazy for me not to, and I would not have been happy doing that. So anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about. Try and define. I'm going to add some of this stuff to the Facebook group description. If you haven't ever watched me before and you want to talk more, want to have more of a conversation about this whole designing an epic life, definitely click the little guy, the little Perry guy, and click follow. And you can go join the Facebook group. Thanks for the hearts, guys. EpicLifeLeague.com. That is where it's happening. That is where we go even more in depth. This is mostly just me ranting. Sometimes we chat. When faced without challenge, make one. Yeah, Peter Drucker laws, right? Yeah, we have to have the challenge. That's why, again, satisfaction. Let me just say it one more time. We were talking about how satisfaction actually is not a part of the whole epic life questing, because satisfaction is just being satisfied with what one is or has, not wanting more or anything else. I can't even imagine that. Right? I can be grateful for what I have. I can be happy with the strengths that I have and want to build them. Stoicism. Yeah, actually, I just got a couple of books more about Stoicism. But yeah, but anyway, so that's what I was just talking today. I just decided to do a little rant. I actually wasn't going to till I read that and got really into it. What are your thoughts on enjoying experiences versus enjoying things? That's up to you. I think you can enjoy both. Why not? I know that there's some science behind when I've read a lot of books on the happiness stuff and on the science of happiness and positive psychology and this kind of stuff. And they said a lot of people have more happy feelings with experiences. But and even though I don't go, oh man, I love this iPad. I love it. You can't see that I'm touching it. I'm very happy the fact that I just bought this recently, because it's making it so I can do this. It's making me so I can see your comments. I'm very happy with the fact that I bought this. Now, I'm not big on buying a whole bunch of things, but I just recently got incredibly excited to get a Tesla after listening to Elon Musk's biography. That has to be really mostly just about trying to get people to buy Teslas, because afterwards I was like, I gotta have a Tesla. And my friend just bought one 2 weeks ago, Pat Flynn. We were talking, he's like, yeah, I'm into a Tesla. And I was thinking, I'm not really all that into cars, but now I am. So, and it's funny because I think it just depends on what reasons you're consuming something. What reasons you buy things, what reasons you're doing things in any way. So Nikki's saying, what do you call being satisfied with your growth? as a growth-minded person? Let me think about that. Being satisfied with your growth. I don't know if you would think of it as satisfied. I can be grateful that I am learning. Um, yeah, James was talking about something. Just one sec, James. Um, yeah, because I think satisfied wouldn't be the right word because, again, the definition is not wanting more or anything else. That's part of being satisfied. That's the definition of contentment is satisfied with what one is or has. And if you're growing, you can't be satisfied. By the act of growth, you're not satisfied because if you were just completely happy with what it is, who you are, exactly who you are, then why would you grow? That would be really, it would be more fixed mindset as far as I can think of. So James says, I'm into something called functionalism. Everything must serve a purpose. I actually really like that. I think, yeah, and see, Carolina is saying it starts with gratitude. See, gratitude is what I said in that Facebook group comment. That's what I use instead of contentment and satisfaction. I could be really grateful with what I have, with the strengths that I have and all of that, but I don't have to be like, okay, well, that's it. That's all I want. That's all I need to be. I do not need to grow. Now, I'm sure that Ryan, as we talk through this, he'll see, he'll be like, I wasn't meaning that I don't want to grow. I'm sure he's not, because he's one of our students from Internet Business Mastery, and he's kicked butt. I'm sure it's about growth, but I wanted to be very specific with these. Let's see. So to live an epic life, would you require a passion that focuses you? Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think that's also where that passion is the thing that you're going to want to strive to master. Like, let's see, I don't have the book right here. I think it's made it to the shelf. But it's the book Louder Than Words talks about identity, vision, and mastery. And having that authentic voice is very, very critical, I think, no matter what it ends up being into. You get to decide, obviously, what you're having that authentic voice towards, but I think that is a part of having an epic life in general, is being able to fully express yourself in whatever it means. A lot of people are having difficulty finding a passion that burns. What do you recommend there? Well, one of the things that we did, and I believe you're in the academy, right? The Internet Business Mastery Academy. We talk about single motivating purpose. That very, very much should help you there. That's what helped me, actually, making sure, what it was that I really wanted to do. And a lot of people say that it does. I'm also reading the Mastery book right now, and this is what I was reading this morning. I was reading Mastery by, I think it's Robert Greene. And one of his first chapters is all about finding, I think he calls it your life trek or something like this. Now, he talks about it almost like a destiny, which I completely don't agree with in general. But really, it's a matter of finding not only what your strengths are, but what you actually want to do. What really makes you excited. And if you don't know, go find out. Start looking at things you wanted to do when you were a kid. As you were growing up, and people told you, oh, that's stupid, you can't do that. Or, I think everyone that wants to have something like this, see, most people don't even think of any of this, but if you have the desire to figure this out, you've got it. You have it. It's just waiting. It's either got, mindsets and all this stuff in your way of you finding it, but it's just a matter of releasing that and going, okay, it's not crazy. Just like doing this epic life thing has been my thing I wanted to do since I was 19, and I was too afraid to do it. This whole time, I was just too afraid. And for me, that's what it was. I was afraid of the judgment, of failing at it, and just everything that came with it. I've had family and friends go, that stuff's not cool, or I don't know. They just weren't helpful with it. Now I've had some family members that are like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah, of course you should have done this your whole life. You've always been like this. But anyway, so everyday gravity, appreciation is a better term. Daily journaling helps keep track of satisfaction with progress. Appreciation. Yeah, gratitude and appreciation to me are about the same. I can definitely appreciate and have gratitude for, the type of strengths I have and the desires that I have and all that stuff. I can just be grateful for what I do have, and the challenges I have too. I can be grateful for those too, because those are what are going to help me develop mastery, right? Like, that is what it's going to be. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. I'm just kind of sometimes I'll have rant casts or rant scopes, and then sometimes it'll just be pure teaching. Like, most of the week it's been pure teaching. About once a week I seem to be doing these rants. Any other questions before I go? Because, again, Epic Life League, if you want to know more, learn more, do more. And if you haven't seen I want to scope on negativity bias. Oh, that's funny you mentioned this, because let me grab it right here. I have a sheet that lists all the biases, because I'm trying to learn all the negativity biases, the fallacies. Those are a big one when arguing the fallacy. Education is nothing more than conversation with smart people. Yeah, that's part of it for sure. What? Share it with you. Yeah, actually, I just put it up today to remind myself to give it to you. So it's the 20 cognitive biases that screw up your decisions. Quick recap on the scope. Oh, you missed the start. Okay, so this was all based on, I was reading one of the posts that a member of the EpicLifeLeague.com Facebook group was asking. He wasn't really clear still on what Epic was, and he was saying that, he's very content with his life and not really sure if the EpicLifeLeague.com is really a group that he should be a part of. And so I was trying to explain what Epic is, and I'll go over really quickly. Here's the recap. Epic is defined as heroic, majestic, and impressively great. Okay, and the core, I think, of an epic life is the growth mindset, which is why I talked about the Carol Dweck book, Mindset, where, she's a science researcher, and she found that you can actually switch from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. It's not fixed like fixed mindset people, and how our education system in most countries are based on fixed mindset. And really, there's this growth mindset that makes it so we can have this epic life. So I was kind of saying that in that post, it made me start ranting. Right? Like, it made me start ranting actually to Nikki, who's here. I was going, wait a second, contentment? No, contentment's the opposite to me of epic, being epic, because contentment means satisfied with what one has or is, not wanting more or anything else. And I was like, first of all, I don't know that that's even really possible. And I was saying that, through Buddhism says that you need to let go of your desires, which really is you need to desire not having desire, which is a contradiction. And James is talking about biases. A contradiction actually is what is it called? A self-detonating statement. It's a fallacy. It's a logical fallacy to use the thing that it's just like saying there is no reality. And contentment can lead to complacency, which distracts from the growth mindset. Yeah, I don't think you can be content and growth mindset based on the definition. And so that's what I was trying to say in my post back to Ryan in the group. I was saying, if contentment is fine with you and you're incredibly satisfied with the life that you have, being in this group will be absolutely horrific for you, because we are about growth. And based on the definition of what content means, it means not wanting more or anything else. You're happy with what is. You shouldn't be in this group, because we are all about growth. And the moment you think, oh, you know what, I would like to read this book right here, you're not content. Because you're desiring more. You're not satisfied with the knowledge you have. You want one. The second you want to know something more, contentment isn't possible. So there you go. There's kind of a wrap up. And, I ranted about it for quite a while. Let me see what the time is. Yeah, I've ranted for a while. But thanks so much, guys. If you're new, again, click the little guide down here. I also go through all the books, these unbelievable books I'm reading, or different courses and different stuff going on. Great stuff. Thanks a lot. Hey, yeah, thanks for coming in. Definitely join the Facebook group as well. Thank you for all of the hearts. I really appreciate the hearts, the little fluffy hearts here. EpicLifeLeague.com. That's just the Facebook group. In the hero's journey, there is actually a final stage of bringing the elixir back, teaching others. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I've got the hero's journey and I've got the writer's journey up here. Thanks, guys. And yes, that's absolutely, and actually, I've got an entire mind map of trying to design our lives like the hero's journey, where you are constantly going through these epic adventures where you bring the elixir back. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm basically doing. If content with life, teach others. Yeah, there you go. The writer's journey. Yeah, it's the writer's journey by... if you type in the writer's journey, basically it's a guy that is a script doctor in Hollywood, and basically a lot of writers way back in the day would actually learn from him. And Christopher Vogel, just got it. Christopher Vogel. And he talks how all the major like super blockbuster movies follow this very specific arc, this hero's arc, basically. And what was just mentioned a second ago is there's a point in movies that are based on this arc, like Star Wars. Star Wars is a movie that's based almost exactly on this hero's arc. You come back with the elixir, it's called. You come back, you go find the magical item, and then you come back with it. And I can't remember who just mentioned that, but then you have the option to, now you show it to the regular world. And it's funny because in the hero's journey or the writer's journey, just the myth arc is you start in the ordinary world, and that's basically what this is to me. We're trying to escape. It's called The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler, or The Hero's Journey is actually what The Writer's Journey is based on, and that's by Joseph Campbell. I think it's called The Hero's Journey, or The Hero with 1,000 Faces, I think might be what it is. But anyway, so that's that's so funny because that is what the description of this Facebook group, the monomyth. Yeah, that's what this Facebook group is about, is helping unplug from the matrix. The matrix is basically the ordinary world. We're in the ordinary world and we want to escape. We want to get out of that ordinary world, and that is basically what the hero's journey is about. We get a call to adventure. Hopefully I'm your call to adventure. If you didn't already have it, I'm the call. Let's go take this journey, and then there's all these stages of what happens throughout the journey, and then you just continuously do that journey cycle. And to me, that's also what Epic Life is. My mind map, all about this Epic Life stuff, has all the different stages, of the hero's journey, so that I can help people and myself go through them over and over again. So anyway, thanks so much, guys. Thanks for being here. Again, follow, join the Facebook group, and very likely going to be talking tomorrow again. Got a lot of stuff I'm reading again. I'm reading Mastery by Robert Greene. I'm reading Let's Have a Post in the group about what was the red pill for folks. Yeah, right. Let's do that. Actually, post it. Let's get that started. Get the picture with the guy with the the blue pill and the red pill in the hands, right? And start that. But anyway, so I'm reading Mastery by Robert Greene. Very, very interesting. Even though he talks about destiny, which it doesn't actually exist, but there are some other things, and I'll be talking about that soon. Anti-Fragile just started, and then the book, which I can never say the name, the book that the Matrix movie was actually one of the philosophy books that it was based on. I'm also reading that one. So I'll be talking more about that stuff next week, and thank you guys for coming in on a Saturday morning, and I guess I will talk to you guys soon.